Hey everyone, it's Matt here. Welcome back to another episode of Savant's Tech Talk. Now, in the last video, Will and I discussed some tips and advice for you to consider when you're putting your resume together in order to land that dream software engineering job. Today, what I'm going to share with you is I'm going to share some of the ways that you can become a better developer so that you don't just impress the employers with your resume, but with the actual skills, which in turn also helps your resume. Now, in the past, we have done a similar video where we discussed 5 other tips to help you become a better software developer. In that video, we discussed to never stop learning, to automate your code, to test your code, to optimize your solution, and to communicate and be friendly. Now, if you want to dig deeper into those 5 points, I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. Now, before we jump into the next 5 pieces of advice, I just want to say if you have any questions about any of the points, you're welcome to leave them in the comments down below, and I am more than happy to answer any of your questions. Now, the first new piece of advice to becoming a better software developer is to really immerse yourself in learning. In the past video we discussed that you should never stop learning. I'm saying to really immerse yourself in it. I really want to drive that point home. And if you're not taking courses in university for computer science or computer engineering, there's other ways you can go about this too. For example, in your spare time, you can go on courses on things like Udemy and Coursera. Also, when you're traveling, you can be listening to podcasts. There's other things like YouTube, for example, is a great way to learn. Books, really try and diversify your learning. Try and surround yourself in it. Be around friends who code, learn from them. The point is that you should really immerse yourself and make it a part of your life. The next piece of advice to becoming a better developer is to actually put those skills that you're learning into practice. And you can do this by working on side projects. Try and work on side projects that really relate to those topics that you're learning, because they will help you go further than just having a basic fundamental understanding. You get to implement those skills and you get to actually get a practical experience with them, which can be great for your resume as well. By getting that practical experience, you can start to develop those skills. Then you'll also have a better understanding of what the next thing that you need to learn is to improve that skill. And you'll also get a feeling of what you maybe need to focus on more to help improve your weaknesses. Now, another very valuable piece of advice that will help you become a better software engineer is to read high quality source code. Now, this can be very valuable for a number of reasons. Say, for example, that you're faced with a very specific programming problem. Try and find somebody else who's faced with a similar problem. Maybe see how they did it. You might be able to look at it from a new perspective. You might be very impressed with the solution that they made. It might also just inspire you to be more innovative. You might see the way someone else did it, and it might give you another idea or another way of looking at it. Also, another great thing to do is try and think of the way you would solve it before you actually look to see how they solved it. Have that idea in your mind, and then go to see how they did it. You might be surprised with how different those solutions really are, and it will really open up your mind to seeing things in a different way. Another great way to become better is to have your code reviewed. The more of your programming friends and colleagues that you can have review your code, the better. And the more critical they can be, the better. In doing this, you'll find what areas you need to work on the most, and it will also help you focus on what the next steps are that you need to improve as well. Now, for those developers out there who really want to get better, I have a challenge that I want to issue to you. My challenge is for you to go out there and contribute to an open source project on GitHub. Contribute to that project and let them review your code. Another great way to get better is for you to find a mentor. Now, they don't have to formally be your mentor. And it doesn't even have to be somebody you know in person. You can find a virtual mentor, but try and find somebody who's got that dream job that you want, somebody that's very knowledgeable and experienced, and learn from them. This person can really help guide you in the right path and can also help you identify what your biggest weaknesses are, and maybe what some of the key things that you really need to work on to get to where they are. They can also help you avoid some of the mistakes that they made maybe 5 years ago when they were in the position that you're in now. So there you have it, 5 additional ways that you can become a better software engineer. Do you have any questions about any of the points that I've made? Or do you have any other valuable pieces of advice that others might find interesting? Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more content.